Hello and welcome to a new video. I have no idea when this is going to get posted, but we'll be doing 1,000 Vorkath kills. I hate this boss. I don't know. There's just the boss knows when I'm not paying attention. It throws a fireball at me. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but that's just how it is for me. Anyways, we got Vorkath down here. I've only done 403. I say only, but I guess that's not too bad. I've got nothing but a bunch of heads. I would like the Vorky pet. I think that's pretty badass. But let's just get into this. I guess I will be using this gear. Got the Dragon Hunter Lance, full Torva. Got the Salve EI. I know I don't need the EI and I just need the E, but that's how we're gonna run it. Don't know if I should be using the Berserker ring or a different ring, and I will be using the Void Waker as my spec. And don't mind the Dragon Pickaxe. I was doing something a little bit earlier, but yeah, let's just go. Alright, so first off, we could talk a little bit about this boss. It does have a lot of interesting mechanics, such as healing on the green pools and stuff, but you also need Dragon Slayer 2 in order to kill this boss. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you already know that, but just in case you didn't, you do need Dragon Slayer 2 this boss. This boss always drops 2 superior dragon bones and 2 blue dragon dehides. And at the beginning of this, I was picking everything up, and then I started to realize that it wasn't worth my time, and only getting 2 kills per trip because I was trying to make sure I could get everything in my inventory just wasn't worth all the extra time it took. So you'll notice in the beginning here that I'm only getting about 2 kills a trip, and that is why. Later towards the end, I start doing like 5 kills a trip, which was pretty chill. The average drop from here is what, like 100k or something like that? Yeah, like 105k according to the wiki. Dropping everything from rune longswords, rune kite shields, noted battle staves, dragon battle axes, the dragon longsword, dragon plate legs, and skirt, along with numerous amounts of runes, dragon hides, bolt tips, dart tips, dragon arrow tips, all kinds of seeds. So having coin drops, dropping adamant ore noted, grapes, which I stopped picking up at some point. I know I picked up a bunch of them while I was doing this. Also, I got quite a few elite clue scrolls while doing this, and I will be doing those and opening them in another video in case anyone was wondering. I've been stacking up a bunch of elites and hards, I believe. I don't think I have that many masters, but those are a little bit harder to come by. Anyways, though, I also stopped picking up the Wrath Talisman along with the grapes. It just didn't make any sense to pick them up. Boss also drops noted magic logs, dragon bones, diamonds, and dragon stones. And I'm not going to go through all the seeds because some of them worth picking up, most of them not really. Like, why would I pick up watermelon seeds? Which I did. I did at the beginning of this. I was picking up the watermelon seeds, and I think at the time of the recording of this video, they were like 1 GP each, and it was so shit. But I also was able to do some of the combat achievements while doing this. I got a kill in 53 seconds. I think the achievement is 40 or 54 seconds. Yeah, the achievement's 54 seconds. Uh also the what was it called? The no prayer challenge thing. I did end up doing that, and I'll probably show a little bit later in the video. I did kill the boss without any weapons, so that was kind of fun. But overall, this took quite a bit of time. I did edit out all the times that I got sat down while I was doing this because I was working on other stuff on my computer, and I would just get slapped by a fireball out of nowhere, or pathing. Everyone knows that pathing in this game is kind of scuffed, but I did take a few deaths, and I did take the, what is it, the scaly blue dehyde. That was a new drop while I was doing this, and taking those to Death's Coffer while I was doing this saved me so much money, because the price of them in the GE was so high. And I'm looking at the wiki right now. I don't even see it on the drop table for whatever reason. That's interesting. Ah, there it is. Also, this boss drops the Dragon Bone Necklace, the Jar of Decay, the Vorky Pet, obviously, and the Draconic Visage and Skeletal Visage, respectively. The Visages are 1 in 5k, which is crazy. The Skeletal Visage also isn't what it used to be. I think I remember that Visage being like, it gotta be close to 100 mil when it came out. Just range was the absolute meta. There was no Dragon Hunter Lance or anything like that in the game at the time. So that was huge. Also, the Dragon Bone necklace is only like 50k now, which is kind of shit. And I don't think it was ever like super valuable. I think like 1 mil was the most it was. Correct me if I'm wrong though. Also, when I see this boss get compared to like other consistent moneymaker bosses, I think Zulra is always the one that comes to mind. And I would like to know everyone else's opinion on the Zulra vs Vorkath esque. I personally would prefer to do Zulra, which might be some foreshadowing in the future, but I did Vorkath because I was also looking for some melee combat XP, and I did end up getting max melee towards the end of the video. I think I was like 98 attack, and I got to 99, and I was like 96 defense, and I got to 98, and I trained a little bit. What was I? I was barraging, I think, yeah, and then I just finished off 99 defense. So we are now maxed melee at the time that I'm doing this recording. Also, the rare drop table drops are still pretty common here as well. I think I got some rune battle axes and maybe like a rune two-hand sword here or there. Probably a uncut sapphire too that I left on the ground. Feel like the 3,000 coin drop was pretty common. But yeah. Also, when I do finish this, I will probably end up using a lot of the items that I got. Like, I'll probably end up using the dragon bones, and I'll use the mana rays or something in a video as like food, stuff like that. Along with the unfinished dragon bolts, I will be using those for another future video. I know I don't want to say anything now, but I think after 1,000 subscribers, I think I'll do like a Nex and Corp and stuff like that. I'll do 1,000 of those. And I still have to go to Desert Treasure. I'm not sure when. I mean, Desert Treasure 2. I am not sure when I'm going to post those bosses. And I went over the effectiveness of Virtus, which is what I was excited for. I remember when Nex first came out, and Virtus was just kind of cool looking, and it's nostalgia for me. So I do want that set. And I was checking, and I actually don't think the price for that is too high. I think top and bottom is like 60 or 70 mil while I'm recording this. It's probably different by the time you're watching it. Also, I apologize, we got off on a tangent. This video is about Vorkath. It's not about Desert Treasure 2 or anything else. But the loot here has been pretty solid all the way around. When I started this, I was like, maybe it'll be like 100 mil, like 100k per kill, leave with 100 mil. Maybe I'll get a rare, maybe I won't. I really had my fingers crossed to get the Vorky pet because it's the only thing that you can get from here that is worthwhile, in my opinion. You could just buy everything else for like 10 mil, easy. And it's not that big a deal. Also, to anyone else who does this boss, what is the most difficult part in your opinion? I'm not saying the boss is hard, but in your opinion, what is the most difficult part? And how do you kill the boss? Because I feel like some people still use range. Like, I want to say melee's the meta, but I feel like some people use range. Also, I want to try this boss with the new rings and maybe the new weapons and stuff and see what's different. Because at the time of this, Desert Treasure is out. I know I did start doing this video a while back. And as you can see on your screen right now, this is me trying to punch Vorkath to death. And I must have sped this clip up to like 50 times normal speed because this was like a 20-minute fight. And I was just going back and forth the entire time. And I saw on the wiki that the best in slot helmet was listed as a Slayer helmet. And I was like, that can't be true because then you can't use the salve. And then I thought about it and I was like, I don't have a weapon. So yeah, the Slayer helmet's probably the best in slot for this. But I didn't have a Slayer task, so we just left it with the salve and the Torva, and I just punched this thing to death the entire time. And it wasn't too bad. It was pretty chill. I will say that I failed a few times until I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna bring Bruise because I'm getting hit way too much. And as you can see here, we were successful We're really close. Don't worry about it. Trust me. We were successful in killing this boss. And that was another combat achievement for me. So that was exciting for me. Also, I had like a bunch of sharks specifically for this video. Can't remember how many it was, but I went through a lot of them. And I also want to say that this boss was changed quite a few times. I didn't notice it until after I made the video. Like, I remembered the boss being really hard when it came out. So I guess I'll just go over like some of the fixes that were made to the quest. Back in 2018 in January, shortly after release, the post-quest forms hit points were increased from 640 to 1,000. That was the part that I remember being really hard. The boss was just super difficult to kill. And then the very next day, damage to Vorkath during acid phase was reduced to 75%, reduced by 75%. Damage to, oh shoot. And the salve amulet started working at Vorkath. So the very first day, that shit was hard. Salve amulet didn't work, and it had 1,000 HP. And then the next day, they also made the post-quest forms hit points reduced to 750, and the quest forms increased to 460. Didn't realize the quest one was so low, but whatever. And then a few days later, on January 8th, they made another change, making the maximum damage dealt to Vorkath during acid phase is now reduced by 50% instead of 75. That's a big oof. Vorkath's base defense was reduced to discourage leaving when defense draining special attacks fail. I feel like people still do that. Maybe? I don't know, I don't think the defense is a huge deal, because I didn't use any defense draining weapons throughout the entirety of this video, but I could be wrong. Standard drops were improved, and players now roll the standard loot twice. I thought it was always like that. They also lower the quantity of certain items dropped in one roll and increase the drop weighting of certain items. I don't know the specifics on that one. Vorkath's initial special attack will now be randomly selected between the poison pool and the freeze attack. I do remember that. It's like a cycle though. Anti-fire and extended anti-fire potions have had their effectiveness reduced against Vorkath. I have noticed that. And in-game loot broadcasts have now been added to Vorkath's drops. Yes. And then in November, Vorkath's noted crush nests were removed from the drop table. That was a big hit, to be honest, because it was a good way to get crush nests. And I feel like every time Jagex releases a way to get crush nests from a boss, they're just like, nah, we're just kidding. Because I'm pretty sure they did the same thing to Zulrah. And I'll eventually do a video on Zulrah. And that boss has had so much stuff nerfed since its release. Like the weapons, the armor has been nerfed. So the Serp Helm, the drops have been nerfed over and over and over again. It's just been a lot. And then obviously in May of 2023, they added the Scaly Blue Dragon Hide, which you can like cut up and get with like 50 noted Blue Dragon scales or something like that. Honestly, not worth a whole lot. Maybe it is if you're an Iron Man. I think that might be the easiest way to get Blue Dragon scales. Correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any Iron Men. Also, while I did this, I did the No Prayer. And I didn't do the kill Vorkath 10 times without leaving the area because I didn't want to leave anything on the ground. And I obviously finished all of the, like, kill count ones, so I obviously have over 100 KC here. And I obviously used only melee while I was doing this, so it was pretty easy. And while I do voiceovers for most of these videos, I did decide to leave a part in here without a voiceover, and I'm gonna let that play in just a few seconds, and the warning, I might be yelling in the clip. So here we go. Dude, I just got the pet. I just got the pet. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, dude. I just got the pet on video. Bro. Bro. I got it. There's no fucking way. So yes, that happened. And I was super excited about getting the pet, especially when I was recording. The guys on Discord were like, oh my god, what are you talking about? But I did get the pet. And that is all I wanted from this. And that's gonna wrap up this video of the loot. And I will see you guys in just a few seconds when I show you what I got. Bye. Alright, everybody. The moment everyone's been waiting. Loot from 1000 Vorkath. And we have 109 mil. I had to take out these bones because I had them from when I was doing fair, but this is it. We only got 80 of these blue scaly dehyde. I thought I would have had like 100, and wow, oh wow, they're only 2,000 coins each. It's crazy. All these hides. I was banking all of the blue dehyde for a while, but I was only able to do like 2 kills a trip, and that just wasn't cutting it. So I did leave a lot of these on the ground. I obviously picked up all the noted ones, but if you were interested, I did leave stuff on the ground. Like I stopped picking up teak seeds after a while just because hides were worth more. And yeah, I think I picked up just about everything else. And as you can see right there, I did get the Vorky pet in case you missed it in the video. Also, I picked up the watermelon seeds. I'm pretty sure I stopped doing that after a while. They're only GP, which is crazy. But yeah, Snapdragon seeds, Raynar seeds, lots of Onyx bolt tips, all kinds of tips, supplies, alcohols, just typical stuff you'd get from Vorkath. 109 mil from the 1000 Vorkath KC. Plus, I got the pet. Anyways, guys, this was not too bad, especially in Max. I enjoyed using the Void Waker slash Karasi, whatever you want to call it, at this boss. I'm not sure what I'll be doing next. It doesn't look like I'll be doing Sarah, though, so thank goodness for that. But if there's a boss that you want to see me try and do 1,000 times, I'll think about doing it, as long as it's not Sarah. Don't say Sarah in the comments. Don't do it. I know you're tempted. Don't do it. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.